waking up one morning to find that your identity, your bank access, and even your ability to travel are all tied to a single government-issued digital ID. The UK is moving rapidly toward this reality with plans for a national digital identity system, sometimes called the Digital ID or gov.uk One Login, that would replace physical documents like passports, driver's licenses, and even bank verification with a single centralized digital credential. On the surface, this is sold as convenience and security, but in practice, it could allow whoever controls the system to monitor, approve, or deny your access to society itself. Once everything from your finances to healthcare to employment is connected to a digital ID, the infrastructure for total control is already in place. A future social credit system, similar to China's, could easily be built on top of it, where your digital privileges depend on your behavior, political opinions, or environmental score. If your carbon footprint exceeds a certain limit, your travel could be restricted. If your social media posts are deemed harmful, your account could be suspended, or worse, your digital wallet frozen. This kind of control sounds alarmingly similar to the prophecy in Revelation 13:16-17, which declares, "He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." For centuries, people wondered how such a system could ever exist. But in our generation, the technology is here, and the moral framework for it is being built in the name of safety and sustainability. What begins as convenience could end in compliance, and what starts as protection could end in persecution. The stage is being set not by overt tyranny, but by quiet, incremental dependence on a digital system that knows, tracks, and ultimately governs every move we make.
Is to create a one-world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is getting me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you,
there you go. Total control. That's what it's all about. That's what Esau wants. Remember, Esau has a God complex. Okay, Ezekiel, the 28th chapter, he wants total control because he feels that he is God. And they can get total control through this RFID chip, through this electronic device.
People stop being fucking stupid, man. Right. When it crashes this economy, man, this is going to be the new currency, man. Right. You're going to have to put your right hand and your forehead out to go ahead and buy and sell in this economy, man. All right? Are you going to sell your soul to Satan, or are you going to get your head fucking chopped off, man? Right. That's the choices that's coming in these days, man. Right. You can laugh and scoff, talk all the shit you want in your mind, but the Lord going to judge your ass, man. Right. All right? This is a serious matter, man. It ain't no more time to be playing around with your people, man. Right.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rikak Kwadash. Double honors to those great millstone while unto his truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. The title of today's lesson is "The Stage is Set." So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we seen in the opening video that they are setting the stage for the M.O.T.B. And also we know that it is already here. So these things are getting ready to become a reality. It's getting ready to be a global event. And one thing about it, the hour of temptation. In the middle of the Lord, we constantly been warning you, starting with the apostles, the elders, and bishop and prophets. You know what I'm saying? A great millstone, and the one that has the like wise doctrine, you know what I'm saying, is speaking the same thing, and you know what I'm saying, the affiliates. So we seeing right here now that it is speaking, it's not lying right now. So these things are coming a reality. So we're seeing how they're constantly setting the stage. They're putting the system into place right before your eyes. And once again, it is already here. That RFD microchip, which in fact is the mark of the beast, the men of the Lord constantly been warning you left and right. It is here. It is at the door. The stage is set. All things are ready. And one thing about it is that we constantly seeing these things left and right, and they're very common knowledge now. If you saying that you don't know this, you don't know that, it's common knowledge. You can easily do a quick Google search or go to chat GPT. They have all this technology. The Lord said wisdom and knowledge shall be increased, right before the end comes. So we seeing now that these things are full to winch. The precursors are right before your eyes. And one thing about it, that, a lot of people right now are very tensed up. We're seeing right now that, they are taking away a lot of assistance, a lot of things that people were very comfortable with, so they thinking that they was a good case. Now we're seeing that now all hell is getting ready to break loose. So now let's start here in Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So right now, that's exactly what we're seeing, an appointed time. That vision, the signs of the time, the prophecy, they're speaking right now. They're not lying. They're not lying anymore. They're lining up. And also we see it right now that these prophecies are being fulfilled, just like the Bible said. The Lord's word would not return to him void. So it's not tyranny anymore. It's not polluting anymore. Things is constantly picking up. Time is constantly increasing. Constantly being more faster now. Things are accelerating. So we coming upon that time. Our salvation is very close at hand. Also the great and glorious return of Yahweh it is at the door. So we see that they're setting the stage for what? This government is setting the stage for what? Civil unrest, civil war, and also they set the stage for a great collapse, a great economic collapse. So we coming upon these times left and right. A lot of people, are going to lean on their own understanding, and you're going to be totally destroyed. We're going to trust and believe in Yahweh. He is the only way, and also he is the only answer. What I'm saying? One thing about it that we seeing right now, right before our eyes, the stage is set. These things are already here. That's what we're constantly warning you about. And people going around saying that, that the RFD microchip, this grain of rice, is not the mark of the beast. Well, then you have a strong delusion and you're going to be totally destroyed. We're constantly warning you left and right. Let's read this in the NLT. It said, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3 said, the vision or the prophecies or the signs of the time is for a future time. So it describes the end and it will be fulfilled. So if it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not delay. So exactly, it surely will take place. And one thing about it, we cannot wait. We know that we are so very close, to the end of all things, the end of this earth age, the end of this wicked kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Babylon the Great, America. And also we're at the end of Esau, Edom rulership, man. We cannot wait. And also the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness is fast approaching. The stage is set. All things are ready. So now let's get another one here. And also I have some more videos that bring out, so these are this is where we at. We got to constantly bring this out, because this is one prophecy that you cannot get wrong, and also you cannot accept. So let's start here. Say trust and believe in Yahweh said, do not take it. The Lord will be on your side. The Lord will sustain you even in death. The Lord will give you that crown of life. The Lord said, behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me. all that trust in him, all that fear the Lord, and constantly persevering, constantly suffering, waiting on the Lord patiently. How long, O Lord? Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8 said, the prophet that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So we know that the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. Also, they prophesy, there's no new thing under the sun. Every time when something, is getting ready to happen, the Lord always sent out his mouthpiece, sent out the warning before he sent out the judgment or the destruction. That's where we at right now. So we constantly warn you about World War III. We constantly warn you about Jacob's trouble. Also, we constantly warning you about the M.O.T.B. You know what I'm saying? The hour of temptation. We constantly warn you about all these things. And also we warn you about pestilence, famines, you know what I'm saying? Famine of the word. These things we constantly been saying, left and right. We've been very repetitive because the Bible is very, it repeats itself left and right in different ages, different times, you know what I'm saying? So right now, it's very clear. It's obvious, we're at that appointed time. We're living in the last day, and the prophets are standing on their watch, and we're standing on fire for Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, in the highways and the byways, making these video pistol left and right. And also we know that we are fast approaching the famine of the word. So, it's time to seek the Lord. Your opportunity is now. If you're a part of the election, if the Lord is dealing with you, ask the Lord to give you understanding, because when it's time of trouble come upon us, there will be no more talking. So now, verse 2, it said, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent him. So we saying right now that, in that day when these prophets come to pass, which in fact they're coming to pass left and right, Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33, they will know that a prophet was among them, and also they will know that the Lord truly sent them. These are not our words. These are the words of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, the one that sent us. And we only repeating the word from the word, which in fact is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Yahushua, was the word. He walked among us in the flesh. So we're here, man. These things are fast approaching, man. We are so very excited, Salakia. But we knowing that these things, they're constantly putting it right in your face now. Everything right now is pretty much out in the open. And we seeing now that more than ever that we're getting closer and closer, to this final chapter, which in fact we're in the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 13 is constantly speaking loud and clear. So let's get this one more quick precept before we go into these other videos that go into it a little bit deeper about the M.O.T.B. They are setting the stage. So let's go here to Proverbs chapter 3. Let's get this right quick. Proverbs chapter 3, because a lot of people don't trust in the Lord. They lean on their own understanding, and which in fact, will lead them to death and destruction. So let's read this right here. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5, let's start here. It said, trust in the Lord with all thy heart or your mind, and lean not unto thy own understanding. So which in fact, don't what you're thinking or what you think that throw it out the window. Trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The Lord will lead you into the path of righteousness, and out of that darkness and into that light, which in fact, hey man, we're here. So we can't depend on our own understanding, just do thy will, spirit, thinking that we know this, we know that, constantly being despised or mocking the prophets. Time to get in order. Let go of the martyr thoughts. Get your house in order, because it's getting ready to go down, Verse 6, he said, in all thy ways acknowledge or confess him, and he shall direct thy path. So that's exactly what we need to do, to confess, to acknowledge Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, ask the Lord for understanding, ask the Lord for wisdom and knowledge. And one thing about it, the Lord will direct thy path. A man going is of the Lord. Verse 7 said, Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. So that's exactly what's going on with the 2/3. They are going to line up like clockwork because what they do not fear the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Also, you know, they are wise in their own conceit. You know, they have their own mindset of where they think things should be. You know, adding sin to sin. So you know, right now, you know, the big, you know, in the news right now, a lot of they saying that it will not be food stamps for November. So that is setting the stage. A lot of people gonna have a lot of desperation. A lot of people gonna be very angry. You know, a lot of people gonna have what you call a animal instinct at that particular time. You know, they're gonna be wanting to eat. They want to have a sense of normalcy. And a lot of people gonna say, you know what, I'm going to take it because I want to eat. I want to take care of my family. You know, I want everything to be all right. The only thing with only thing that we need to be doing is trusting and believing in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The Lord will save you. The Lord will deliver you. And also the Lord will sustain you in times of trouble. So let's read this once again. It says here, be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. So a lot of people do not fear the Lord, and that's why these things gonna come upon them. They're gonna get caught up in that evil net and this system. You know, it's in total control. You would not be able to buy or sell. You would not be a damn thing. So it's gonna be dealing with digital IDs, biometrics, transhumanism, robotics, and mental law with constant one, artificial intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are going to get enticed by this technology, these lying wonders, the counterfeit wonders, this pseudo salvation, you know what I'm saying? Which in fact, you know what I'm saying, Esau Edom, that he wanted to be like the Most High, but he's not God. He's just merely a man, which in fact he is the base man of the earth. You know what I'm saying? The original caveman. So one thing about it that we seeing that we're here, these things are right before our eyes. And once again, the title of the day lesson, once again, the stage is set. So now let's go to these couple of videos I got to show you. These 3 videos, and after that we'll get a little bit more, few more precept, and we'll close out. And once again, I hope that you will get edified.
You see, while you've been at work and paying bills and then going home and go to sleep, Sweden over there putting chips in their hand. Digital chips in their hands. So all they gotta do is just swipe to pay or identify themselves or whatever. A chip. No, they doing that like right now. I mean, you know, like that tap feature, like you go somewhere to get something to eat and all you gotta do is just tap it or put it near it or something like that and it collects your payment. Yeah, well, that's in their hand now. And then soon that's gonna be issued out across the whole world. And it's gonna be made mandatory soon. So while you got that load of cash in your wallet or purse right now, soon that's not gonna be worth anything. And you're gonna need that chip. Look it up. We've been talking about this for I don't know how long, and then we get on here to tell y'all they put chips in their hands, Sweden. So once they make it mandatory for you, I mean, I assume you probably just gonna get it, but do you really know what that means for you? No, it don't just mean that you're gonna be able to buy your food. Like I can tell you in a part 2 if you want it.
Sweden just implanted microchips into people's hands, turning humans into walking wallets. No cash, no cards, no wallets. Thousands of people in Sweden have taken a bold step into the future by implanting tiny microchips under their skin. About the size of a grain of rice, these chips act as digital IDs, payment methods, and access cards, all in one, from letting them pay for coffee, unlock doors, or ride trains with just a swipe of their hand. It works much like the contactless tap we use on cards, but here, the card is under your skin. So why is this happening in Sweden? The country is already one of the most cashless societies in the world. Only about 1% of its economy runs on notes and coins, compared to 10% in Europe. Among the younger generation, almost everyone relies on apps and digital payments. Even IKEA tested going fully cash-free and discovered that hardly any customers use bills, saving staff hours of time that used to be spent counting coins. But not everyone is celebrating. Seniors and immigrants worry about being left behind, and critics warn of privacy risks if implants ever connect to health records or government IDs. Sweden is showing the world just how far digital life can go. But a question remains, would you put a chip in your hand to pay?
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't
doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
No?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all on chips. So I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is you need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future. Install in-grain procedure with local anesthetic, and you're good to go. In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards.
Which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden. No cash. At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
but even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot. I think, it's so much more data can go into this, when it's in your body.
There's no central registry tracking how many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannes Wellblood estimates between 5 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it will be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human microchipping may be our future, but in Sweden, it's already reality. Sarah Harmon, NBC News, Stockholm.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for...
So now let's start today's lesson. We go straight to the point of Revelation chapter 13. So it's not coming, it's already here. The stage is set. That's what the men of the Lord constantly been warning you about. So now it's common knowledge. You try to say, oh, it's not that, it's not coming. It's right before your eyes. And one thing about it, the Bible does not lie. And one thing about it, what if some don't believe? We really don't give a damn because it's happening. It's going to happen, and nothing you can do against the truth but for the truth. And we are so very excited. So let's go here straight to the point lesson. It says here, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16 says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So right here is saying he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So it's going to be a global event. Everyone on the planet, he's going to make this mandatory. This grain of rice has already started in the UK. Also, it already started in Sweden, and also the UK is getting ready to follow up on it, and also China and different parts around the world. Also, we know that it is going to come to America's shore very soon, which in fact the technology is already here. The Neuralink, so that brain computer interface, these things are right before our eyes. A lot of people going to get in tights. So we're seeing this right here. You will not, be able to do a damn thing. It's going to be announced. It's going to be implemented very soon. So we're very close. This coming. This is what this man wanted to put into play. He want total control. So let's read this once again. It says, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, to charagma, in their right hand or in their forehead. So right here is going to be a global event. The hour of temptation, the hour of testing is coming upon us at a fast pace. So now let's look up this word mark. We goes in these things all the time. And one thing about it, you cannot say, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. The Lord said this gospel shall be preached throughout the entire world, then shall the end come. So let's go here to that mark. Let's go here to G5480. Let's go here. It says here,
Strong's G5480, charagma.
charagma. Let's see here. It says here, let's go to the online biblical uses a stamp and imprint mark. It says here, it said a mark stamped on the foreheads or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. But we know that there are many Antichrists. If you don't believe you're Antichrist, if you don't think that the RFD microchip is the mark of the beast, then you are an Antichrist. You know what I'm saying? If you're thinking that everyone can be saved, then you are an Antichrist, and so forth and so forth. You know what I'm saying? One thing about you on a strong delusion. So see here, it say a mark branded upon horses. It said things, carbs, kosher, graven works. It says here of a idolatrous image. You know, say we already know that this is an idol. And one thing about it, you know, if you take this idol, you will be totally destroyed. So we know that this is going to be a physical mark. It's going to go under your skin. We're going to get a little bit more. Let's get the strong definition here. It says it's a scratch or etching stamp as a badge of servitude. So that's exactly what they want to mark you with, this badge of servitude. Whose side are you on? You on Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, or you on Esau Edom? You know what I'm saying? The modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. This is his system, which in fact, the New World Order. They want what that total control. So let's go back up here to the animosity. Let's get here to this one here, G5482. Let's go into this one right quick. Corrects.
Strong's G5482. Charaks.
So it says here a pail or stick, a pastel, or rampant. It says here, let's see what else we got here. So we know it right here. This is the instrument that they use to apply that grain of rice under your skin, the syringe, the applicator. We put it like that. So we seeing all these things are right in front of your face. And also it's rumors that a lot of people that took the hokey pokey and already has the inside of them already. But we on measure the time diligent on that. It says strong definition. It says here, sharpened to a point. It says through the ideal of scratching a stake, said by implication of a pastel or rampart. You know what I'm saying? That's all we're gonna get on that. But so it's just describing a syringe, or applicator, what they use to put it under your skin. Implantable device. We put it like that. So we're seeing right there. These things are right here. A common knowledge. They're here. So let's go into this one here. Grappo. Let's go into G1125. Let's get this one right quick.
Strong's G1125.
Grapho. When we get around to look up graphene oxide. That's all I can talk on that because they will pull the video down. But this is only for educational purpose, and also fair use. So we see it right here, the online biblical use, and the one that we want is that to write with reference to the content of writing. Let's see, it's another one I want to get out of here. I think that could be the one, and yes, that's the one what I want right there. And we see it right here that it says to write with reference to the form of letters. So this right here is going into something that is transmitting, going into data. It goes into tracking, goes into see what else, how we could put this, make you a walking device, which in fact, we know that the applicator number one was the hokey pokey, so a lot of people walking around here right now as a walking receiver. So I'm putting it in term where you can understand it, plain term, one or two, we got to watch the guidelines on YouTube, so you can understand. If you are part of the election, you would get this. So we're seeing right now a lot of people are walking around here a receiver, receiving different things. What I'm saying, walking Wi-Fi, also Bluetooth, capabilities. Setting the stage. So we put it like that. So exactly. That's what we're seeing. So, a lot of people have been compromised. And one thing about it, the elect, we will not be compromised. We will not bend a foe. So now let's go back out of this. So just want to get that, just get a little understanding of that. It's many, we can go into it deeper and deeper, but, we're here, man. This is common knowledge now. It says here, Revelation chapter 13, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So it's talking about this system, the image of the beast, which in fact this beast system is going to be digital program, but also implantable, it's going, so the RFD microchip going to work hand in hand with this new money, the CBDC. It's going to be under your skin, total control. Digitally, all things, so we seeing that they're going to do away with the fiat currency, paper money very soon. It's going under your skin. So they already coming with the digital IDs very strong, coming down to your identity, biometrics, face recognition. These things are coming into place, surveillance, monitoring, reporting, a lot of things are coming, scanning and tracking, so that's where we at right now. So that's the system that they are putting into place, total control. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 600, 6. Christ stigma, so not everybody's going into that badge of servitude, to mark you, with that idol, say that digital oil. And also, this is going into your, you will not be able to buy or sell, make any type of transaction. We coming upon these things, when you go back to Revelation 7, go to verse 17, that buying and selling, your transaction, dealing with barcodes and QR codes, different things like that. And who has the understanding, the men of the Lord, so the multitude, the true believers of Yahweh Bashim Shai, and everybody say count the number, this system, that they're constantly putting into place, Kai stigma, these things are right before that badge of servitude. We go over these things left and right, and then we hear who has the understanding. We're not ignorant of Satan devices, and we see that we're here. These things are right before our eyes, so it's not coming. It is here. The stage is set, the grain of rice, the M.O.T.B, the seed here. It is here. So now let's go here to Revelation. This is what happened. This is what will happen if once you take it, and the Lord is going to cause that grain of rice to be burst open. It's going to leave this mark upon you, this grievous sore. It says here, Revelation chapter 16, verse 2 say, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a newsome sore. Said, so let me start at the top again, a little bit excited here. Revelation chapter 16 and verse 2 saying, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a newsome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark, the charagma of the beast, and upon them which worship his image, the one that that consented, that was under this subjection, and this is what came upon them. It was a grievous sore, so it's might, we know that capsule, that grain of rice, that little microchip, it contains, I think, lithium, if I'm not thinking it right about it. We're going to go into the interstellar of that. We're going to the John Brown commentary in a minute. We're going to get a little bit more on it, so give you an example. So, that grievous sore, so a lot of people broke out with it. It could have been cancerous or whatever, but, it would not heal. So these things are fast approaching. So let's go into let's get this right quick. Let's go into let's go into text commentaries. Let's go here. Something I want to get out of here. Every now and then we bring it. That's John Brown, one by John Brown. It's go kind of straight to the point. Let's go down here and we're gonna go straight to the point about this grievous sore. See here, let's go down a little bit more. and we'll probably get one more. But these things right here is just like I say, man. We this is lining up just like clockwork. We're almost there. That's something I seen here, and also they put it in the video, so I decided to bring it out. So this here commentary, in the blue there by John Brown says as we discussed in earlier chapter, these foul and loathsome sores could be a result of the angels simultaneously popping the lithium batteries that power the womb to tomb microchip implanted under the skin of all those marked by the beast, or all those that, that accepted this mark. So this is a possibility how the Lord will cause this grievous sore to come upon them. But we already know that lithium will cause a sore, and also with those chips. So there's many videos out where people got a sore, they had to have them removed, but one thing about it, though, with this sore that's coming, is not going to heal. The Lord is going to totally destroy them. So read this once again. Commentary by John Brown. It says, as we discussed in earlier chapters, these foul and loathsome sores could be the results of the angels simultaneously popping the lithium batteries that power the womb to tomb microchip, or the RFD microchip, implanted under the skin of all those marked by the beast. So that's going to be one of the punishment from taking this, under the skin. So we seeing it right there. That's what I want to get out of there. It's always good to go in there, and one thing about it, that's judgment from the Lord. And also we already know that they will have to face that second death. Let's go to this verse 14. The second death is the lake of fire. And what is the lake of fire? It's America will be totally on fire by those IBCM missiles. Also that laser and chair fire from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Let's get this one. We get one more. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9 says, and the third angel followed them, saying, with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark, the charagma, in his right hand or in his forehead, a Neuralink, it said, the lying wonder said, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wrath, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation or righteous anger, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. Verse 11 says, and the smoke of their torment as ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives the mark, the charagma, in his name. So we see it right here. So that is the punishment for taking or accepting this grain of rice, this technology under your skin, whether, knowing or unknowing. But one thing about it, it's just the idea about it, the Lord already knows that the election, we're going to know, we'll put it like that, it's we knowing that these things are right upon us, it's not no more lying anymore. It's right before your eyes. So we see these things here. So if you accept this charagma, this mark, this technology under your skin, you're going to be totally destroyed. The second death, which in fact is the lake of fire. So now let's go to our last and final script. I done rambled long enough, and I hope that you will get edified. Let's go here to Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. Straight to the point lesson. And just like I say, man, we're so very close to these times. And lean not on your own understanding, but trust and believe in Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushua, these things are right at the door. Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 30, they say, and when this comes to pass, what? These prophecies, the signs of the time, said, lo, it will come. Said, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. So they are going to really find out who are the true men of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. These men were telling the truth. Why didn't I believe Jesus? You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, Jesus will not help you in those times of trouble. One thing about it, you know, it's going to boil down to the name. Them that had the mark, you know what I'm saying? The Lord said going to put a mark upon them, that mark of exemption. You know, when you go to Ezekiel chapter 9, I think around verse 4, and also I think it's one, and if I'm not mistaken, Revelation chapter 7, you know, and one thing about it, you know, they know the names of the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, you know, and then they shall know that a prophet was among them. And my Lord, we constantly been warning you left and right about these things are fast approaching. They're at the door. And one thing about it is that, you know, hey, it's obvious and clear that we're here, man. We're living in the end time, real time. That's what we constantly warning about. So we're seeing right now that these prophecies are lining up like clock. We're seeing that World War III is jumping out. We're seeing what's going on all around the world. You know, so the Lord is visiting the earth that he created also for the controversy of Zion. You know, so we see that things are set into motion. And also the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness is fast approaching. Trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. That's the only way and the only answer. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is The Stage is Set. So I can give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim. We call Quadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.